Our first dump dinner is going to go in the oven for about an hour. So for this one, you put everything in a casserole dish, pop it in the oven, pretty much walk away. So we're adding rice, spaghetti sauce. It said 2 cups, but there was such a little bit left. I just dumped the whole thing in. Some Italian diced tomatoes. And now we're going to mix all that together, and we're going to put the chicken on top. We're going to cover it tightly with foil and pop it in. Now I checked my chicken at 50 minutes. Here it is. It wasn't quite at 165, so I turned the chicken breasts over, covered it again, and popped it in for about 5 more minutes, I think it was, and then it was ready. So then after your chicken is cooked to 165, you're going to remove the foil, and then we're going to add the cheese and then pop it in the oven just for 5 minutes until it gets melted. Here it is when it came out of the oven, and here are our finished plates. It was such an easy dinner, and it was a really good dinner. We enjoyed it very, very much, and I made some garlic toast to go on the side, and here are the ingredients. And the link is in the description box below that'll take you to the directions. This dump dinner is slow cooker, and it was so easy. It was done on a day that Big Daddy and I went out. We knew we wouldn't be back till quite late, so the only thing I had to do when I got home was make rice and heat up some beans. So the first thing you do is put the pork chops in the slow cooker, and then it says mix all the ingredients. So we have salt and pepper to taste, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of soy sauce, and a 1/3 cup of chicken broth. So I'm just going to add all those ingredients, and then we're going to set this on high for 5 hours. It doesn't get much easier than that, and I have to say these were delicious pork chops, and I am definitely making them again. I do like to buy the big half pork loin and then cut them up into pork chops, and they work out quite well as far as the price. It's much better than the price of pork chops. And here are our finished plates. I hope you give them a try. For this dump dinner, we're going to put the chicken in the bottom of a slow cooker and then combine the other ingredients and pour it over the chicken. we're going to mix some brown sugar, water, ketchup, and a package of dry onion soup mix. Well, it said 3 tablespoons, but I think if I worked it out correctly, I remember it was like 3 1/4 or 3 1/2. And I just put the whole package in there. And we're going to put the lid on. It says to cook on low 4 to 6 hours. Now this is a new slow cooker to me, so I'm not really sure. I wasn't sure how it would cook or how fast it would cook, so I went ahead and did the 6 hours. I did check it about an hour and a half before it was ready, so about 4 1/2 hours, and it was done. It could have been done earlier than that. I'm not sure. I'm still working with it. Here's our finished plates, and it was delish. Be sure to try this one. The Cowboy casserole dump dinner required cooked ground beef. I don't store cooked ground beef, but you can. I know a lot of people that do. So I just had to cook this up real quick before we put the dinner together. And the other thing that needed prepping was the potatoes. They require slicing. The original recipe called for 6 potatoes sliced, so I decided to get out my food processor and use that to get this done. And it was too many potatoes. I did put this together per the recipe. Big Daddy and I were not fans of all those potatoes. I was gonna just scrub this recipe and just find something else to put in here, but the recipe has a good concept. I mean, I like the idea of the recipe, so I have adjusted it. You can find the ingredients and the original recipe linked in the description box below, along with the one that I made changes to. So I've got the ground beef in here. We're just going to add the potatoes, and I think you'll agree that there's way too many here. Now we're going to add the red beans, and then it called for 8 ounces of tomatoes mixed with 2 tablespoons of flour to thicken it. I used a 14.5 ounce can of tomatoes. I just wanted more in there, but I did use the flour, which I think was not really necessary. So I've changed these. The new recipe now calls for the red beans and a 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes with green peppers, celery, and onion. And then for the seasonings, instead of just salt, pepper, and garlic, I've added a teaspoon of chili powder and a teaspoon of cumin. And I've changed it so that the potatoes go in at the bottom and then all the seasonings on top of those. And you need to use a lot of seasonings for the potatoes, otherwise it's going to be bland. Instead of salt, pepper, and garlic, I use this potato slayer. We really like this, but it still was a little bland. That's why I've added the chili powder and the cumin. Cook this for 8 hours. I'm still working with this new slow cooker. And here's our finished plate. Like I said, the concept's great. It just was a little bland, and I'm changed it up, and I hope you try it. And if you do, please let me know if the new one's good. I am going to put it back on our meal plan, and we'll try it again. I hope you enjoyed the dump dinner delights. And if you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up in the comments and hit that thumbs up button. It really helps me out. I want you guys to have a wonderful week. I'll see you on Friday. We're setting up for St. Patrick's Day. Bye guys. Have a great week.